𝗦𝗲𝗹𝗶𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃, real estate agent with Real Broker in South Louisiana. Coming to you today to discuss lots of misconceptions that sellers have. And I would say the most important misconception that sellers have is that they need to have their house appraised before listing it with a real estate agent. That is absolutely not the case. So if you are a potential seller, you do not need to spend any money on an appraisal. Something to keep in mind when it comes to appraisals. Lots of people believe that an appraisal is the holy grail. Listen, this is what an appraisal is. It is one person's subjective opinion of the value of your home. That's all it is. One person's opinion. If you are a potential seller and you call 10 different appraisers and have them come out to your place to appraise it, I guarantee you they will come up with 10 different prices for your home. Why? Because it is a subjective process. The appraiser is going to pull what's called comparables, going to pull the homes that he believes are the most related to your home. Think about how subjective that process is, right? It is subjective. What's another reason you don't need an appraisal? Because you list your house with a realtor who has a good track record of getting homes sold over and over and over again, homes that appraise, right? But that appraisal process comes much later in the process. It doesn't come as something that you as the seller should pay for. Why? Because let's just say I list your house and I say, listen, based on all the homes that have sold similar to yours in the last 6 to 12 months, I believe the value of your home is $300,000, all right? In order to sell your home, you need a couple of things. First of all, you need a buyer who can buy your home. You need a buyer who's willing to pay what you're asking. So let's just say that I list your house for $300,000 and you have a pre-approved buyer who wants to offer you full price. They want to offer you $300,000 for your home. What's going to happen next, if they're getting a loan, which I would say probably 95% of people are getting some kind of loan, very, very, very small amount of people are cash buyers, all right? So the price of your house is $300,000. You have a buyer that wants to give you $300,000. What happens next is that buyer's bank sends out an appraiser to your home. So if you had spent $500, $600, $700, $800 prior to us listing it to get an appraisal, the buyer's bank is never going to ask to see that appraisal. They do not care. It is absolutely worthless. So the buyer's bank is going to send out an appraisal. The buyer pays for that appraisal, and if it appraises for $300,000, then you're moving forward. The sale is moving forward. If for some reason it appraises for $295,000, then you as the seller have to decide, based on this appraisal, are you willing to lower the price to $295,000? So that's a huge misconception that lots of sellers have, that they believe that in order to list your home, you first need to appraise it. You absolutely do not need to spend money on an appraisal if you are thinking about selling your home. If you have a real estate agent who has done lots and lots and lots of transactions, they know how to pull what's called the CMA, and that's the comparables, based on the market, the current market. What is your house going to sell for and what is it going to appraise for, all right? Misconception number 2. This is how I handle business, and listen, all real estate agents are self-contracted, so we all do things a little bit differently, but this is how I do it. You as the seller pay me nothing not one single penny, anything, until the closing of your house, and it comes off the proceeds of the sale of your home. You pay me nothing up front, which means I'm paying for the videographer, I'm paying for the photographer, I'm paying for the marketing, I'm paying for the advertising, I am paying for the signage, every single thing. And so my goal is to sell your house for the maximum amount of profits in the shortest amount of time, because that's the only way I get paid, and it's the only way you get paid. So if you speak to a real estate agent, let's just say you're not in my area, for some reason you hire a different real estate agent outside of my area, and they say you owe me this amount of money up front. Listen, I would interview lots of other real estate agents, because I don't know how other people do business, but I will not charge you a penny up front. If I don't sell your house, I don't get paid. So if I don't sell your house, I don't get paid, you don't get paid. There's no reason I would ever charge you something up front. Why? Because I have full confidence that if you do the recommendations that I'm going to recommend before I send out my photographer, I'm going to sell your house. It's almost a guarantee. 99.9% of homes that I list, I sell. Okay? It's a simple process. It's not rocket science. If you are gung-ho and you're a motivated seller and I say I need you to do this, 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 and this before the photographer goes out there, your house will sell. So misconception number one, you do not need an outside appraisal if you're listing your house with a real estate agent that knows what they're doing. Number two, you're not going to pay me anything up front. I get paid at the closing table when I sell your house, and the amount that I charge will come off of the proceeds of the sale of your house. Misconception number three, sellers, lots of sellers believe that they can make more money by selling their house by themselves. Listen, I've been in real estate now for 5.5 years. I've probably closed now close to 375 to 380 transactions. And I guarantee you, if you talk to every single person whose house I've ever sold, they will tell you, Darla told me that she would get me this amount for this house, and I was going to sell it for this amount, and every single time I've gotten seller after seller after seller after seller, tens of thousands of more dollars than they ever could have gotten by themselves, because I find sellers undervalue the true value of their home. There's no rhyme or reason to lots of ways that people come up with their numbers. I don't know, I don't understand, but time after time after time after time, I get them tens of thousands of dollars, more than they ever dreamed possible, and that's with my commission. Here's another misconception. As a for sale by owner, it's safe to list your house by yourself. All right, so think about this for a minute. You put a for sale by owner sign in your front yard, and how many times are your children home alone? How many times are you in the bathroom and your kids are watching TV? How many times are you maybe in a different part of the yard or a different part of the house and your children answer the door? A for sale by owner sign in your front yard is an open invitation for anybody to drive up to your house, knock on the door, and say, I want to see it. Think about how unsafe that is in this day and age. The difference is, when a real estate sign is in your front yard, even the dumbest of the dumb person knows they cannot just show up at your house unannounced and look at the house. That they must schedule a showing with a real estate agent who will then schedule a showing after they screen them. So I'm not showing a complete stranger your house if it's listed. They're going to go through a process of they have to prove that they can buy it, right? So if they say that they are going to finance it, then I need a pre-approval letter, and I spoke to that lender, and I know this person's legit. It's not just some Joe Blow off the street who's nosy and wants to go walk through your house, right? If the buyer is a cash buyer, and they say they're a cash buyer, you'll love this one if you're a seller. I'm waiting on a settlement, and when I get the settlement, I'm going to buy your house. Well, guess what? You're not walking through the house until you have the money in the bank and you have the proof of funds to show that you have won the settlement. Because we all know Louisiana is the most litigious state in all of the 50 states, which means they are the most sue happy. And how many people do you know right now that are waiting on some kind of magical money from some kind of settlement? Those people, if I list your house, are not walking through your home until the money is in the bank. So think about how much more safe it is if you have a real estate sign in your front yard and every nosy person is not stopping by to say, hey, I want to see your house, because they know that they must schedule an appointment, all right? So those are the foremost, I would say, misconceptions of a seller. There's lots of other ones, but listen, if you are thinking about selling your house, I would encourage you to interview a couple of real estate agents and choose the one that you feel the most comfortable with. We all have our own different personalities. We all have our different strengths. You absolutely must trust that real estate agent 100%. So you want to look for someone that you trust 100%, that you know, that you like and you trust, or that they come very highly recommended because someone who has used them has referred them and they have done a tremendous job for them, all right? Remember this, in real estate, there are no stupid questions. 5.5 years ago, when I got out of education and into real estate, I knew nothing, absolutely nothing. So I will never think that there is a stupid question. The only way you will know the answers is if you ask. So ask your questions. Listen, you can text me, you can call me, you can private message me. There are no stupid questions, all right? And if you're thinking about buying or selling in the future, just keep an eye on my Facebook page. There's always something new coming. People ask me every day, how's the market? Listen, there will always be buyers. There will always be a reason to buy. And there will always be a reason to sell. So for me, the market is amazing. Y'all have a great week. Take care.